This is some footage from a dive back to an area called Rock on Rock Restriction, as well as going over the marble shelf. So this is pretty far away from the entrance, and you've got to go through multiple small spots, just like this one here. You've got to kind of wiggle through cautiously to get to the other side. And this is a particularly challenging one because it is small and kind of awkwardly shaped. But once you wiggle through, then that opens up all this neat, unique cave passage. So we're just under 4,000 feet or so from the entrance. We've got 2 or 3 of those small spots that we've moved through. And then we're into this larger passage with really dark walls and dark floors. And as you shine your light around, it kind of just gets sucked up into the abyss. And it's really, really neat here. And it goes on like this, kind of craggly rock, fissures in the ceiling, and big breakdown rooms where rocks have fallen for thousands more feet. But eventually you hit this very small spot. It's called the rock on rock restriction. So you can see my friend there is pushing his way through. It's rock on the top, rock on the bottom. Makes a nice little diver sandwich in there. And moving through this space gets you access to other spots in this cave. But we were just kind of seeing if we could fit and testing the waters here today. We weren't actually going past for any extended period. So after that, we hopped over to this section of the cave, which leads to an area called the Marble Shelf, which is really, really cool. And you can see how big and open and pretty and craggly, but also how dark this section of the cave is. It's very different from the first couple thousand feet of passage. It looks more like that. But after we saw that, we came back, we picked up our scooters, which pull us through the cave, and we started the journey out. So on the way out, we ran the camera, and you can see how the cave transitions between sandy bottoms to clay bottoms. And get the scooter sideways there because it's a smaller area, so you can't hold it below you. To other restrictions like this, where you have to do the wiggle through, so the shadow of the GoPro there. And more dark, craggly tunnels like this. You can see the clay banks on the left side there. It's super unique and cool. Just stratified layers of clay. And transitioning back to some more craggly type cave that goes up and down and all around, and more GoPro shadows. It's really annoying. To this spot, which is one of the first restrictions you get to when you're going to this back section of the cave. And that spot was about 3,000 feet from the entrance. So here's a sped up little section of zipping and zooming on our way out of the cave. Total round trip, we were somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 hours from when we started the dive until when we ended the dive. And that includes a couple hours of riding the scooters back and forth just to get back to where we were trying to go to see that cool, unique section of cave. And takes about an hour and a half or so of decompression at the end.